Welcome to Friday Night Likes. My name is Chris Webb, and in this show I review toy photography from around the web so you can learn how to improve your skills in composition, lighting, posing, and much, much more. Okay, we return to normal programming after last week's special. First up, the shot by Wookie Milk of Darth Vader. Lovely, moody scene. Really like the colour tones in this. A couple of things stood out from this that I thought would be worth talking about. Great thing about Vader and any toy like him is he has a perfectly reflective black helmet. So because this is black and glossy, what it does is reflect everything around it. Because it's effectively spherical, you get a 3D view of the setup in the room here as the photo is taken. In some of the more modern films, when they have this problem with filming, characters like Vader and C-3PO that have reflective heads, they do all sorts of CGI to actually eliminate things like the cameras and the lights from the reflections. But in this case, what you want to do when you see shots like this is just take a look at what you see in the reflection, because it gives away how this has actually been lit. And what you can see is there's actually a dark spot in the middle, and then kind of white here, and then I'm not quite sure if there's kind of another dark spot here, and then it's getting lighter again here. So whether there's another gap or that's just another duplicate reflection of that. And then it's dark over here. You look in the eye, that kind of does the same thing with that spot on the light either side. So it's starting to give you an idea of how this light has been applied. Harder on the background, but obviously where you see highlights like that, there's some kind of light, and where there's dark, there's a gap. There's blackness between the light and the shade. So yeah, that's the first thing I want to point out. Second thing I want to point out is I think there's some Photoshop manipulation on the right side. So this kind of orangey hue that's coming across, I don't think is done with lighting. And the way you can spot that is if it goes into the shadows, because if you had an orange light like that, I don't think you wouldn't get that highlight of white there, and then perhaps the fall off of orange that's going so deeply into the shadows. The shadows would be blacker, which makes me think the right side has been photoshopped a bit. Now, this isn't a criticism, because I love shots like this. I love colouring things and using Photoshop to enhance the mood. I'm simply pointing this out so you guys can tell how this is done. Now, I may be wrong. It's certainly becoming a thing that I'm corrected each week for things I get wrong. But for the most part, I can pretty much see what people are doing. So this just seemed like a good shot to show you guys how you can pick up on things and the way things are done, and help you read the photo and help you understand how it's been lit. And then you get beautiful shots like Wookie Milk has got here. Okay, next one, Mad Lion Presents, who's been on the show before. Fantastic shot of this Marvel Select Gamora figure, really making me want to go out and spend a lot of money on it. The great thing Mad Lion does is depth. He's really, really thought about foreground, midground, kind of behind midground, and the background. Now the background there is either a monitor, an iPad, or possibly a printout. Then in front of that he's got this kind of rock formation. These beasts here, they're getting slayed. Gamora coming through the middle on this foreground piece, which is lighter than the background piece, and then running into this ship or whatever it is to get away. So there's depth throughout the scene. The asteroids in the background, which I think for the most part of the background, almost blend in with the rocks. I couldn't tell whether they were kind of part of the scenery with the beasts here flying up, and whether it was all just sort of floating up in the gravity, whatever. But great isolation. That blue in the background offsets against the stronger white and the green of her. And then, coming forward, you've got this just on the rim. So this is right at the front. Brilliant setup. This would have taken a lot of time to do. I really like this shot. Next one by Dreaded Giant Underscore DK, the proverbial shot of stormtroopers in nature that I complain about every week. Because there's a lot of people getting 6-inch stormtrooper figures and plopping them outside and doing not much else. But here's one where a hell of a lot of effort's been made, so it's worthy of talking about. First thing is matching the figures to the environment. So these two, we got the Shore Trooper here from Rogue One and the tank driver. They've been proper dirtied up. I mean, look at the state of these guys. He's really put these two through the ringer. And as a result, it looks like they've been in the trenches with this mud and grime and, at war dealing with the elements. So immediately I start to believe, okay, they're in a diorama or they're in a to-scale scene rather than just two figures plopped outside, which a lot of shots look like. Think you got a bit of smoke in the background. I can't tell. Might be Photoshop. But a nice bit of haze there. Just creates a bit of separation. Stormtrooper's leg in the background. Possibly out of place because it's jet white and quite clean. So maybe he's coming in straight off a ship to relieve these two so they can have a wash and a cup of blue milk or something. And then the thing I really, really like is this in the foreground, which is one of their dead comrades who clearly has been at battle and is dirtied up, unlike the guy at the back. And it's this kind of thing that just elevates the photo, because rather than just two guys stood outside, blasters pointing at I don't know what, just the addition of their dead comrade laying here in the dirt tells me, okay, there's been a battle here. Someone's down. They've been down for a while. It's been a brutal fight. It's right in the foreground. So again, there's nice depth to this shot. And the result is a really, really great photo. So that's why I've pulled this one out this week. Next up, this great Lego shot by Y. Brick. It's amazing to me how people get so creative with Lego. I mean, that's part of the fun of the toy, that you've got all these different pieces you get with the sets, and the originality and ingenuity of some people with what they think up with what you can do with Lego is never fails to put a smile on my face. And this is a great example of that, because he's thought, I know what I can do. I can get these little gold coin pieces and make out like 3PO is getting crushed in this little machine he's set up by these evil stormtroopers. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And a beautifully lit, lovely photograph to put all this in. So, yeah. A simple story, just with Lego. Doesn't need, fancy Marvel and DC and Star Wars figures. Just Lego tells a story and creates a reaction. Look at this. Oh my lord. This is something pretty special. I love work like this. I love work where you've got two very well lit figures, whether they were lit at the same time and shot together or not, but clearly they've been pulled into Photoshop, and a hell of a lot of work has been done on top of these two to bring in the elements, the sky, the lightning, the sea here, you got the boat there, and the result is an absolutely superb piece of art. This is movie poster level quality. Color tone's great, composition's great. This is a really, really great shot. Check out more from Pacific Shatterdome. He's got some really, really great work here. And it's hard to talk about this in terms of, what can I say to you that you can take from this to put in your photos, because a lot of the work here has been done in Photoshop, and to talk about all the various techniques and things he's done would fill up an hour easily. But to me, showing something like this is showing something you can aspire to if you step out of the realm of just the photography of toys and get into the realm of manipulating your work and manipulating your photos to create something bigger and more imaginative, which is what Photoshop gives you. So a great one there to finish on. So that's it for this week. Quick shameless plug of my toy photography course, which you can get at www.learntoyphotography.com, where you can learn everything I know about the topic and much, much more. So head there to find out more. Otherwise, I'll see you same time, same place next week. Head to ToyShooter.com to join our newsletter and get my free guide to toy photography. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube using the link below. When you subscribe, look for this option to be notified whenever we upload new tutorials. Otherwise, videos will probably get lost in your feed here on YouTube. To see my work on Instagram, you can follow our account at instagram.com/WeShootToys, where you'll also find some exclusive behind-the-scenes videos. You can also get regular news and updates from our Facebook page at facebook.com/ToyShooter. As with YouTube, you can get notified whenever I upload news or photos by clicking on that like button arrow, then selecting all notifications. You can always change this later if I'm posting more cool stuff than you can handle. Here are all those links again. See you next time.